Imagine waking up to a news alert that fundamentally reshapes the global financial landscape, not from Wall Street, not from London, but from Baghdad. The kind of alert that sends central bankers from Washington to Beijing scrambling to their emergency meetings and has every major investment fund on the planet recalculating their entire yearly strategy in a matter of hours. This is not a scene from a speculative fiction movie. This is the very real and increasingly probable scenario that is quietly building momentum in the heart of the Middle East as we speak. The world is, right now, on the precipice of one of the most significant monetary events in modern history, an event centered entirely on the nation of Iraq and the long-discussed, often doubted, revaluation of its currency, the Iraqi dinar. For decades, the dinar has been a symbol of economic despair, a currency brought to its knees by war, sanctions, and profound instability. But what if I told you that every single indicator, every move by the Central Bank of Iraq, and every whispered conversation in global financial institutions is pointing towards a controlled, deliberate, and monumental shift that could see this very currency become a cornerstone of a new economic paradigm for the entire region? The evidence is no longer circumstantial. It is piling up with an alarming and deliberate pace that cannot be ignored by anyone with even a passing interest in global economics or personal wealth creation. The Central Bank of Iraq is not just tinkering with monetary policy, it is executing a meticulously planned surgical strike on its own financial system, a multi-phase operation designed to untangle the dinar from the stranglehold of the US dollar, a process known as de-dollarization, which is the absolute essential prerequisite for any nation that wishes to command a strong, independent, and internationally traded currency. This is not merely about raising the exchange rate for the benefit of foreign speculators. This is about national survival and the assertion of economic sovereignty on the world stage. Iraq sits atop one of the largest proven oil reserves on the planet, a resource that has traditionally been sold exclusively in US dollars, creating a dependency that has limited its economic autonomy for generations. But the new financial roadmap, aggressively championed by both the government and the central bank, is a direct declaration of independence. They are building a digital payments platform to bypass international dollar-based systems. They are mandating that all domestic transactions occur in dinar to build massive internal demand for the currency, and they are engaging in high-stakes diplomatic missions to ensure their trading partners, especially for their colossal oil and gas exports, begin to accept payment in dinar or other non-dollar currencies. This is a high-risk, high-reward strategy of breathtaking audacity. The reaction from global markets has been subtle but unmistakable. You can see it in the shifting patterns of commodity futures, in the analytical reports suddenly being issued by major financial think tanks that had long written off the dinar, and in the quiet but significant movements of smart money into assets directly tied to the Iraqi economy. The world is watching because they understand what is at stake. A successful revaluation would not only create a new wave of millionaires in Iraq itself, but would also recalibrate the entire economic balance of the Middle East, presenting a viable, oil-backed alternative to the petrodollar system that has dominated global finance for half a century. This is the real story, the underlying tectonic shift that makes the potential of a dinar revaluation not just a speculative dream, but a geopolitical inevitability. If you want to be on the right side of this historic financial shift, you need to understand the mechanics behind it, which is exactly what we will delve into next, so do not go anywhere, because the most critical information is yet to come. To truly grasp the magnitude of what is unfolding, we must move beyond the headlines and dive deep into the technical engine room of the Central Bank of Iraq, where a quiet revolution in monetary mechanics is taking place. The cornerstone of this entire endeavor is a radical and aggressive battle against inflation and the black market currency auctions that have plagued the dinar's value for years. For the first time, the CBI is winning this battle decisively. Their foreign currency reserves are at an all-time high, bolstered by stable and high oil prices, providing an unprecedented war chest to defend the new value of the currency when the moment arrives. They are systematically mopping up the excess liquidity of physical dinar banknotes from the streets through sophisticated open market operations, effectively reducing the money supply and increasing the scarcity and intrinsic value of each remaining note in circulation. This is Economics 101, but the scale and precision with which it is being executed is what separates this attempt from all the failed ones in the past. Furthermore, the government is pushing through long-stalled hydrocarbon laws that would unlock billions in foreign direct investment, not just in oil, but in the vast and untapped natural gas sector, creating a dual stream of revenue that would back the currency with immense tangible asset value. The timeline for all of this is the most critical piece of the puzzle. While no central bank will ever announce a revaluation date in advance, as doing so would trigger uncontrollable market chaos, the roadmap points towards a window of readiness by late 2024, with the actual event highly probable in 2025. This timeline aligns with the completion of several key infrastructure projects, including the National Digital Payment System and the full implementation of the new banking compliance standards that will bring Iraq in line with international anti-money laundering protocols, a crucial step for the dinar to be accepted for trade on global foreign exchange markets. The potential exchange rate scenarios being discussed in expert circles are no longer the fantastical numbers of internet forums. They are grounded in complex economic models that compare Iraq's GDP, oil output, and money supply to other similar but stable regional currencies like the Kuwaiti dinar or the Saudi riyal. These models suggest a move away from the current low value to a rate that reflects Iraq's true economic potential, a rate that would restore the purchasing power of the Iraqi people and position the nation for a century of prosperity. The impact of such a move on the US dollar cannot be overstated. A successful, strong dinar would provide a powerful blueprint for other nations seeking to de-dollarize, potentially accelerating a global movement away from the greenback as the world's primary reserve currency. It would immediately affect the price of oil, as a stronger dinar would alter the cost dynamics of Iraq's primary export, sending ripple effects through every single economy on Earth. For investors, this represents a generational opportunity, but it is an opportunity fraught with peril for those who are not properly informed. The key is to understand the difference between the solid, data-driven progress we are witnessing and the baseless hype that has surrounded this topic for years. To navigate this final crucial stage, you need a clear and actionable strategy, which is precisely what we will break down in our final, most important segment. Stay with me, because the next few minutes will define how you position yourself for this historic event. So the what and the why are now clear, which leaves us with the most pressing question of all, the how. How do you, as a global citizen and a prudent individual, position yourself in the face of this impending financial earthquake? The first and most non-negotiable rule is to operate from a foundation of verified information, not social media euphoria. The single greatest risk you face right now is not missing the opportunity. It is falling for the rampant misinformation and scams that prey on the excitement surrounding this topic. Your strategy must be built on patience, due diligence, and a sober understanding of international finance. The legitimate pathway, when and if the revaluation occurs, will be through formal banking channels and certified financial institutions that are authorized to deal in foreign currency exchange. Any scheme promising you guaranteed rates, pre-revaluation sales, or secret contacts is, without exception, a fraudulent operation designed to separate you from your money. Your action plan should begin with education. Follow the official statements from the Central Bank of Iraq, monitor reputable financial news services that cover emerging markets, and consider the analysis from economists who specialize in the Middle East. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It is a geopolitical investment in a nation's future, and it should be treated with the same seriousness you would apply to investing in any other major market. The second pillar of your strategy is understanding liquidity. Even if a new rate is announced, the initial phase will be one of extreme volatility and controlled distribution, primarily within Iraq itself to stabilize their own economy. International access and the smooth conversion of large volumes of currency will take time to establish. This is not a sprint. It is a marathon that will require a calm and disciplined approach long after the initial announcement is made. The role of major financial institutions like the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank is also crucial here. Their support and stabilization packages will be instrumental in ensuring a smooth transition, and their involvement is a key indicator to watch for as a sign of imminent action. For the global audience, the implications extend far beyond currency speculation. A revalued Iraqi dinar would open up one of the world's last great frontier markets, creating unparalleled opportunities in construction, technology, telecommunications, and agriculture. Companies and investors who have established relationships and a presence in Iraq will be positioned to benefit from an economic boom of a scale rarely seen in the 21st century. This is about more than just the value of a banknote. It is about the rebirth of a nation and the recalibration of its place in the world. As we stand at this crossroads, your engagement and vigilance are your most valuable assets. The information is flowing, the pieces are moving on the global chessboard, and the decisions you make now, based on knowledge and patience, will define your financial position for years to come. Do not be a passive observer of history. Be an active, informed participant. If this analysis has opened your eyes to the reality of the situation, then you have taken the first crucial step. Now the responsibility falls on you. Do your own research, verify every piece of information, and prepare yourself logically and emotionally for the waves that this event will create across the entire globe. The clock is ticking, and history is being written. Make sure you are on the right side of it.